Hello, welcome to my videos and my blog. This time I'm going to talk about what happened this weekend on NFL 2024 season, week 6 scores. Where tonight finish the week 6 on NFL 2024 season with the Monday Night Football where the Bills defeated 23-20 the Jets. So in this video I'm going to talk about what happened in this week 6, the results and how are the standings are through our 6 weeks of game. So let's start first. Remember that this is was the second week that we had a bye week for teams, where this week they didn't play for teams. The Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning champion team, the Los Angeles Rams, the Miami Dolphins, and the Minnesota Vikings. So the week 6 started last Thursday, where the San Francisco 49ers travel and visit Seattle and defeated 36-24 the Seahawks. About this game, the 49ers had an easy game in the first half, where they were leading 60-0 in the beginning of the game, and they were leading 16-3 in the halftime. In the third quarter is when the Seahawks put in motion, because they scored 2 touchdowns for teams. The 49ers just scored 1 touchdown, and they reduced the game to 20. Wait a minute. Sorry. In the first half, the 49ers starting winning the game 16. Yes, 16-3, was correct. And in the end of the third quarter, the 49ers were leading the game 24. No, where 20. Wait a minute, 23 to 17, just a 6 point difference. But in the fourth quarter, again the 49ers dominated the game. They scored 1 touchdown and 2 field goals. The Seahawks could score 1 touchdown, and the 49ers go back to the to the victory, and they improved the record to 3, the same that the Seattle Seahawks. But because the 49ers won this game, they took the leadership of the conference, of the division. Sorry. And in the first game, and the first Sunday game, another game playing in England, in London, England. This time was a different stadium than the last week. This game was played in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The Chicago Bears didn't have any problem and defeated 35-16 the Jacksonville Jaguars. About this game, the Chicago Bears had an easy game, to be honest. The Jaguars are one of the worst team in the league, and the Bears didn't have any problem and won this game easily. They were leading 14 to in the halftime, and they increased the lead to in the second half, where they scored another 2 touchdowns. They had the game under control and closed and won it in the end of the third quarter. They won it 35-16, and they won this game. And Caleb Williams had his best game in the NFL, because he threw by 4 touchdowns. This was amazing by the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence did a good job. He threw by 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. But talking about the Jaguars wide receivers, they they couldn't catch the two or three potential touchdowns for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and this was one of the reasons why they lost the game. About this, after that, the Chicago Bears improved this record to 4-2, and the Jacksonville Jaguars fell to a record of 1-5. And the games that started in the first schedule at 13 o'clock Eastern time, a very funny, great game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeated 51-27 the New Orleans Saints. This was a crazy game, to be honest, because in the end of the first quarter, the Buccaneers were leading the game 17-0, and in that moment I thought that the Buccaneers were going to win this game easily. But in the second quarter, the Saints scored 27 points, and the Buccaneers just scored 7 points, and by surprise of everyone, the Saints were leading the game by 3 point difference, 27-24 in the halftime. To be honest, I thought that in the second half the game will be close, but not. In the second half, the Buccaneers improved a lot is football level in both sides of the ball. They didn't allow any more points for the Saints. They scored another 27 points, and they won the game 51 to 27. And this was a magnificent game. With this score, the Buccaneers improved to a record of 4-2, and the Saints failed to a record of 2-4. And remember that the Saints started the season 2-0, and now they have four straight losses. What a shame of team. And one of the best game of the week, the Baltimore Ravens defeated 30-23 the Washington Commanders. This was a very great game where the Ravens always had the lead and they controlled the game. The Washington Commanders put emotion in the fourth quarter, but in the end the Ravens were better team and they won the game 30-23 and they improved to a record of 4-2, and the Washington Commanders lost its first game since the week one. Since the week one, and remember that they have won four consecutive games. This was a tremendous game, a very great performance from the Commanders' offenses. But the Ravens are one of the contending teams that want to represent the AFC conference in the Super Bowl the next year, and they show this. In another game, the Green Bay Packers didn't have any problem when defeated to 4-13 the Arizona Cardinals. The Packers were better team, they dominated the game and they were leading 2010 in the halftime. In the second half, the Packers had the game under control. They scored another touchdown and one field goal, and they won the game 34-13. They increased the lead, and they improved to a record of 4-2, and the Cardinals fell to a record of 2-4. In another game, one of the worst game of the week, in a divisional game, the Indianapolis Colts defeated 2017 the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst, because the Carolina Panthers are there. But this was a very funny game because in the end of the third quarter, the Tennessee Titans were leading the game 17-10, but in the fourth quarter the Colts improved his football level. They scored one touchdown and one field goal, and they won the game 2017, and they got his third victory of the season, and they improved to a record of 3-3, and the Titans fell to a record of 1-4 in the bottom of the conference. Sorry. In another game, the Houston Texans traveled to the northeast of the country and defeated 41-21 the Patriots. The Houston Texans didn't have any problem to win this game. To be honest, they have an easy game. And they won it 41-21. I think that the most important of this game is that in the Patriots side they made his debut, where he threw by three touchdowns and two interceptions. He threw by 243 yards. This was a good presentation for him, but to be honest, the Patriots are a very bad team, one of the worst team of the league, and the Texans have an easy game. They won it easily, and they improved to a record of 5-1, and the Patriots lost its fifth consecutive game. In another game, a very ugly game, the Philadelphia Eagles defeated 2016 the Cleveland Browns. About this game, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles didn't play a very good football, but they didn't have any problem because the Cleveland Browns one of the worst teams in the league. The Eagles did enough to win this game. They won in 2016, and they got another victory. And about the Cleveland Browns, to be honest, this is a shame to be this team, because especially to the Sean Watson, that he's not playing a very good football, and I don't understand why the Browns head coach doesn't sit down the Sean Watson, because he's playing a very bad football. I think that this is a under decision, because I don't see any other motive to doesn't sit down the Sean Watson. And the Eagles return to the victory after the bye week. They improved to a record of 3-2, and the Cleveland Browns fell to a record of 1-5. The games that started in the second schedule on 16:05 and 16:25 Eastern Time. The Los Angeles Chargers visit Denver and got the victory 23-16. This is a divisional game where my prediction was that the Denver Broncos were going to win this game because they had three straight victories. But remember that the Chargers come from a bye week. Before the game, there was some problem with the Chargers because his head coach Jim Harbaugh couldn't be in the sideline because he got ill and he didn't present to the game. But after that, he said that he was okay. This is great for them. The Chargers had the game under control because in the halftime they were leading 20-0. In the in the in the third quarter they were leading 23-0, and they had the game under control. And in the fourth quarter, the Chargers relaxed this game when they allowed 16 points by the Broncos. They put the motion in the end, but in the end, the Chargers won the game 23-16, and they returned to the victory after a back-to-back losses. In another game, my favorite team, my Pittsburgh Steelers, traveled to Las Vegas and they defeated 32-13 the Raiders. About this game, if you see the score, you could say that the Steelers had an easy game, but to be honest, they didn't play a very great football, especially in both sides of the ball, and especially in the first half. But in the second half is when the both sides of the ball, the defense and the offense side, improves their football level. But I think that the big difference here was the impact plays that the Steelers defense did, because the Steelers had three takeaways, or two fumbles and one interception, that the Steelers offense translate to touchdown, and this was the difference to win this game, because by three takeaways the Steelers got three touchdowns, 21 points, and they won the game. The MVP of this game was TJ Watt, that he forced two fumbles, and it was amazing. And now the Steelers go back to the victory after a back-to-back losses, improved to a record of 4-2, and Las Vegas Raiders fell to a record of 2-1. And another game, a divisional game, the Atlanta Falcons traveled to Carolina, defeated 38-20 the Carolina Panthers. About this game, the Panthers put emotion to this game, but in the end, in the second half, the Falcons had the game under control and they won it easily, 38-28. About this game, the Carolina Panthers are the worst team in the league. To be honest, I don't know, they have a very bad performances, and I think that in the next NFL draft, they will need to select a new quarterback, because Bryce Jones is not the future and Andy Dalton is not playing a very great football. With this victory, the Atlanta Falcons improved to a record of 4-2, still leading the NFC South, and the Carolina Panthers fell to a record of 1-5. In another game, in a last game of the second schedule, the second shift, the Detroit Lions traveled to Dallas, to Dallas, Texas, and they were there to defeat and humiliate the Cowboys 47-9. To be honest, this is a very bad situation and a full situation for the Cowboys, because they were humiliated in national TV, and where they were losing 27-6 in the halftime. To be honest, in the second half, the Lions scored another 20 points and they won this game 47-9. It's not possible that the Cowboys couldn't score any touchdown, just three field goals, and this was the worst losses in home, in Dallas home, since the 1988. To be honest, this is a bad team. But to be honest, I am a very angry, because I don't understand how the Steelers couldn't defeat this very bad team, the Cowboys, because they are very bad teams, and the Steelers had the opportunity the last week where they play in home, and they couldn't defeat this trash garbage team. To be honest, the Detroit Lions had an easy game, and they won the game won the game by 38 point difference, and they improved to a record 4-1, and the Dallas Cowboys fell to a record 3-3. The only bad news by the Detroit Lions is that one of his starters, wait a minute, what is the name of this? Ida Hutchinson got injured, and the most probably is he will be out for the rest of the of the of the year. And in the Sunday Night Football, I think that the worst game of the week, the Cincinnati Bengals defeated 17-7 the New York Giants and New York. To be honest, this was a very ugly game. That the game was dominated by the defense side, and to be honest, the Cincinnati Bengals won this game because they have a little better offenses than the Giants, and for that reason they won the game. But until the last minutes of the game, because this was a very ugly game to watch. I don't have any more to talk about this game. Just that the Bengals defeated 77. They got the victory and they improved to a record of 2-4. And the New York Giants fell to a record of 2-4. On the Monday Night Football that finished a few minutes ago, the Buffalo Bills traveled to New York or New York City to the MetLife Stadium and defeated 23-20 the New York Jets. About this game, I think that in the first half, the Buffalo Bills had the game under control. They were leading 2010 in the second half, but in the last second of the second half, Aaron Rodgers made a Hail Mary, and they scored 7 points, and they reduced the game to a 3 point difference, 17-20 in the halftime. But in the second half, there were some mistakes, to be honest. There were missed three field goals, two by the Jets, and one by the Bills, and one extra point by the Bills, and this was the big difference that made that the Bills won the game. There was some weather condition like a lot of winter that affected the kicker, but to be honest, you are a professional, an NFL professional player, and it's not possible that you couldn't score a field goal. The difference here is that the Jets kicker missed two field goals, and the Bills missed two field goals, but he missed one field goal. But he made another two field goals, and no, I'm sorry. The big difference is that the Jets had two field goals, and he missed no had three field goals. No, had well, the Jets kickers missed two field goals. This could have changed the result. And the Bills missed one field goal, but he made the last one in the fourth quarter to win the game 22-20. And the Buffalo Bills improved to a record of 4-2, and the New York Jets fell to a record of 2-4. So, who are the NFL standings through our 6 weeks of games? In the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills are leading the division 4-2. They have an easy run in this division. The Dolphins that didn't play are in the second place with a record of 2-3. The Jets lost a few minutes ago 2-4. And the Patriots are the worst team in this conference alongside the Jacksonville Jaguars. In the AFC East, the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning champion team that didn't play this week, are in the field with a record of 5-0, the best team in the conference. The Chargers that won, they have a record of 3-2. The Broncos are in third place with a record of 3-3, and the Raiders are in the bottom with a record of 2-4. In the AFC North, the Ravens and the Steelers are tying in the first place with a record of 4-2. They have an easy lead against the Bengals with a record of 2-4, and the Browns are the worst team alongside the Patriots and Jaguars in this division, and they are almost eliminating from this competition. The Bengals are still trying to enter to the playoffs, but it looks complicated. And in the AFC South, the Texans are leading the division 5-1. They have an easy lead. In this moment, the Colts are in the second place with a record of 3-3, and the Titans and the Jaguars are in the bottom, and the most probably they are eliminated. And in the NFC conference, in the NFC East, the Commanders are leading the division with a record of 4-2. The Eagles are in the second place with a record of 3-2. The Cowboys are in the third place with a record of 3-3, where they were humiliated by the Detroit Lions this week, and the Giants are in the bottom with the record of 2-4. In the NFC West, the 49ers recovered the lead of this division. They have the same record as the Seahawks, but because the 49ers defeated the Seahawks this week, for that reason they are leading the division. The Cardinals are in the third place with a record of 2-4, and the Rams that didn't play are in the bottom of the division with a record of 1-4. In the NFC North, this is the best division in the NFL in this moment because all the teams have a winning record. The Vikings are undefeated. They didn't play this week. The Lions are in the second place with a record of 4-1, and the Bears and the Packers are in the bottom with a record of 4-2. So everything can happen in this division until this moment, and this is the best division. And in the last division, in the NFC South, the Falcons have the same record as the Bucks, 4-2. But remember back that in the last week, in 2 weeks, in the week 5, the Falcons defeated the Bucks in the Thursday Night Football, and for that reason, the Falcons are leading the division. The Saints, that started 2-0, now they have lost 4 consecutive games, are in the third place. and the worst team in the league, the Panthers, are in the bottom of the division and in the NFL with a record of 1-5. So, in this video, I talk about what happened this week in NFL 2024 season, week 6, and how are the NFL standings through our 6 weeks of games. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I wait for your comments. See you next video. Gibran.